Pranakasha livestream.
Hey folks, it's Matt of Pranakasha Productions, and today we have Ethan McDowell here. Hey Ethan.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So if you don't watch TV, then maybe you don't know who Ethan is, but if you do watch TV, you might notice that he's like on all kinds of shows. And right now, you just came out in the new Hello God, what is it?
Yeah, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Right. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Which is a super well-known Judy Blume book, if you've read those books. And now it's a movie, which now I don't know how many people have watched it, but it was getting great reviews, and I think it's getting a lot of viewership too, right?
Yeah. It was, like you said, it was a classic Judy Blume book that Judy Blume kind of held tight to the chest for a lot of years, man. She wrote that back in the 70s.
Right.
And a lot of different companies wanted to make that movie. And then finally she met Kelly Fremont Craig, who did The Edge of 17. If you haven't seen that, it's a good one with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, cool.
But they decided, hey, let's go for it. And they made the movie, man.
All right. So the thing that put them over the top was, of course, we got Ethan McDowell committed to it. So now's the time.
There might have been other people involved that really pushed it over the edge, but yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah. Also, actually, folks, though, you know what we'll do? Why don't we just show us Ethan's reel, which has a whole bunch of clips from various shows that he's in. Let's do that right now.
All right.
Oh, here we go. Ooh, Miss Marvel.
On the outside edge.
Just shot some guy. That was Ethan. Uh-oh.
You'll exit the car while Angela, the star/slash
Young Rock.
/ your combat trainee, watches you enter the gym to find the crime boss doing dumbbell curls on a bench press. He'll be the guy wearing lead jeans.
Yeah, Young Rock is on NBC. This is season 3 here, though.
An illegal gambling match being broadcast worldwide on the net.
So the crime boss works out in jeans?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
told me.
So that dude must be about 7 feet tall if he's taller than you, because you're like 6'5" or something, right?
6'2", and he's, I think he's 8'8".
Perfect.
That's traceable, right? Use a paper trail.
Okay, here we go.
Chips out of stolen folks.
Echoes.
He's got a
So now you got a bit of a lumberjack type of a look.
We'll get you the rest.
Plaid.
I can't do it tied to a post.
Maybe your rich sister will get us the rest.
You leave my sister out of this.
You see, some of us know how to keep a horse safe.
Walking Dead. Oh, that's a pretty mean looking gun you got there.
No signs of tracks
Thank you.
anywhere,
Just a
sir.
little blunderbuss. Don't leave home without it.
Yes, sir.
You trying to get them to like you? Try keeping them alive.
Oh, we don't even know if he wants to play
Oh,
anymore. So.
teenage bounty hunters.
No.
Dig
have
that
you?
sweater. And
Thank you. Comfortable,
Sure.
cozy.
oh, so this is like a comedy role. Oop, now we switched to something else. Doom Patrol. Now everybody loves this show. But I'm sorry I haven't watched it yet. But I've heard great things about it.
You once called it the
It's pretty wild, man. There's a lot going on here.
Our investigators have identified your next test subject.
Okay, now where are we? Little grungier looking.
Person, huh? I'm so sick and tired of you always.
Fine.
What in the world do you think you're doing?
So what show is this?
You said, Your Honor.
We switched to something else. Bluff City Law.
Your Honor, we're calling the witness to testify.
Dr. Jones was Mrs. Fulham's former doctor.
We have the right to call a witness to speak to her state of
So
health.
you're a lawyer in this one, right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prosecutor.
A hunky doctor. Look at that jawline. Oh, that was quick. Now we're back to Walking Dead.
This is me using that blunderbuss.
Okay.
It's all clear, Carl. Stay. Look around for a bit so we don't miss nothing.
No, we'll search the rest of the town first. You three take the north end, work back. We'll meet you in the middle.
So what happens when the wrong
Okay,
people
now
get
you're
powers?
a police officer, I think.
Kids, each
So
of
this is
their
Miss
needs.
Marvel
Lock
again.
the city down
Yep,
and
yep,
get
yep.
them in
Okay.
now before
Nice
anyone
tie. I
else
like
gets
the
hurt.
stripes.
Oh, thank you.
I got a tie just like that.
I want this kid taken
Do you?
alive.
I
Wow.
do, yeah. And I'll wear it about once every 5 years.
I like it.
Okay,
Only
now
when you're being a secret agent.
NBC's now your lawyer again.
And the embryo.
Let's see what kind of
planted
tie.
in
Now
Mrs.
that's a more,
Fulham's
that's a
uterus
classier tie. It's more of a lawyer tie.
Is that the only viable embryo?
Bluff City Law.
What'd you do with the second embryo?
Yeah,
Fulham
what did you do
gave
with the
us
second
permission
one,
to
dude?
destroy it. No further questions.
Ooh, what's this? Now you're Ascendant, another action
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. It's a good one.
Okay. So you're a knight in armor who also has a handgun?
Yeah, I'm like a
That
super
works.
soldier.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. It didn't work. It bounced off his breastplate. Duh, man.
I'd
You need
give
a
it a
better gun
shot.
than that.
She's always telling me about
Whoops,
the
what's
importance
this?
of building up antibodies.
Yeah, don't talk with your mouth full.
Just wish you would have told me where.
Oh, is that?
you wanted
Oh, I
to
thought we
go.
were supposed to.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The food in Paris.
Okay.
Little baguettes, hard cheese, kind of like.
So, how many times did you have to do that scene?
Probably 11.
Oh, shit. Did you have to keep stuffing your mouth with food or just use the same food every time?
A little bit of both. A little bit
All
of
right.
both.
Oops, now what's this? Another action. Oh, this is some action movie. This is an army something or another. Okay, so this is... Come on. Oh, they didn't tell us what it was. Okay, now you're a cop again.
Where's home exactly?
What do you mean, what's in the bag?
I'm just curious.
That's none of your business, please, sir. I'm just trying to. I'm cooperating. Just
Yes, put your hands on the hood, dude.
He's not listening.
Don't reach for that. No. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. Ooh, okay. So now we're medieval sword fights.
Yep.
So that guy's got like a samurai sword.
Yeah, yeah. That was called Warrior Showdown. So they would take two different types of warriors and make them fight.
Oh, okay.
That was the
One,
knight versus the samurai.
Bobby DeBarge.
Daddy here, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on TV1.
Now you're
basically.
spooking a bunch of kids, so this guy must be a bad guy.
He's not a good guy, yeah.
He's drinking beer in front of a bunch of kids.
When you're done
What the hell?
ridding the world from the likes
You can
of
tell
me,
he's a bad guy by the shirt he's wearing. Look at that shirt.
who's gonna be my hero, Bobby? Huh?
Who's gonna save you?
Oh, I know this one. Space Command. Yep.
They don't know we're here.
We were just discussing this scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my super edit.
Burn to death.
Yeah.
It's enough, Lieutenant.
Well, I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk to Mark, and I'm gonna try to convince him to use my edit of this scene when they show Space Command at Comic-Con.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what he said.
Yeah. He'll probably do it. It's just a matter of how, the logistics of it. Oh, you did an edit of it too. You cut it down. And you're real.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you trimmed it way down. Okay. Ooh, privileged talent. What does that mean? That they got to pay more?
No, that's just my agent. That's just so if anybody like is like, oh, I like this guy from this show, they reach out to privileged talent and then off to the races. Hopefully.
So that's the name of the talent agency.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And last I heard, you were living in Atlanta,
Yeah, Atlanta,
Georgia. And then, are you still? I know you're still buddies with Brian McClure. Are you guys still
Yeah.
roommates?
We are not. So we were never roommates, but we
Okay.
lived in the same apartment complex. So he lived in one building, and Athena and I lived in another one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's some other friends. Like we had our own little actor commune there. But I saw that young man this morning, actually. So Mr.
Okay.
McClure this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian's going to Star Trek Las Vegas too.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun, man. That'd be
Because
a
I'm
good
trying to
time.
convince Ethan to
I like
commit to
I like
Star
it.
Trek Las Vegas first week of August, because Space Command, even though it's technically not Star Trek, Space Command has a table in the vendor room. as well
Yeah.
as several Orville actors will be there too. So a lot of stuff's gonna be happening this year there.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, man. What year is this one? Do you remember what year it is? This is a big one?
This year is 2023.
Oh, wait, let me
So
write this down.
yeah,
Okay, let's see here.
yeah. So
2023.
you stepped through the proper time portal,
Oh, good.
at least to be on this show.
It's good to be here, man. Good to
Yeah,
be here.
it is good. And also, Ethan recently did one of his own projects. He did kind of a comedy short film. What was it called again? I already forgot.
It was a last minute gift.
Last Minute Gift, where he played a
Yeah.
whole bunch of different characters.
Yeah,
And some
yeah,
of
I
them
thought it'd
very
be
comedic.
fun.
And I didn't realize that you were that good at comedy.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I always kind of started out like way back in the day. I just thought if you can make somebody laugh, man, I think it goes a long way. So I
Yeah.
think just doing something silly, man, just kind of make yourself laugh a little bit and see if you can get some others
Yeah.
to join in. Yeah, it's a big part of it. Yeah.
Because it's funny. I mean, like once you land a couple roles, then your agent always pitches you to a similar roles after that, right? So you end
Yeah,
up
for the
getting
most
sort
part.
of typecast, you know?
Yeah, it was just kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. So you kind of want to get typecast so you can get a bunch of roles, but
Right.
then I guess just figure out a way to break out of it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
But
But
you've been
it's never a bad thing though, I don't think.
okay. And you've been quite successful in that you're cast both in feature films as well as TV shows. So, and isn't that a bit unusual?
I think everything's changed, man. I think with all the streaming capabilities now, I think since there's films and television all over the place, I think that everything's kind of blended a little bit more. Probably in the
Okay.
past, I don't know what, 5 years, 6 years, maybe longer than that.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember when oh man, it's probably 2014, maybe there was a show called Luck or something like that, but it was Dustin Hoffman
Okay.
was like the first mega movie star to do a series TV show, and I think the show actually didn't last very long, but it kind of changed the dynamic. And like, well, if we can get Dustin Hoffman to do this, and who else can we get? And
Right.
then the floodgates open.
Okay.
Stars were all over the place.
Okay. Wow. Oh, that's wild. And so shooting a TV show and shooting a movie isn't that much different, is it? When you're actually shooting it?
Not really. I think television moves a whole lot faster, I think. So like if let's say you're on a network television show, let's
Okay.
say you're working on NBC
Okay.
and you have just a 1 day role, you're just going to show up for that day. You'll go in there and the day will be anywhere from 4 hours to 14 hours. And then that's it. And you go
And
away.
either way, you get paid for the whole day,
Correct. Yeah. And then if you're
thanks to SAG.
Yeah. And if you're on a major show or a major role in a television show, and then of course you have all these other days. But if the show is already airing, you have a deadline that you have to meet that episode. So a lot of episodes will take maybe 2 weeks, depending on the size of the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just finished about either a 30-minute show or an hour-minute show, and then that goes off to the editors, and you just keep pumping them out. But I feel like with a feature film, you can kind of take your time a bit more and focus on certain scenes depending on, again, kind of the budget of it. So a lot of indie films, you have a set amount of days you got to get it done in, and then that makes it similar to television. But,
Okay.
yeah, process is very similar, I would think.
Do you have any desire to produce shows or direct shows besides your own little projects?
I would love to, man. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Okay.
It'd be cool to have like maybe a show, like 10 episodes, like a little mini anthology kind of thing would be fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
yeah, I always start kicking around ideas, but then I start kicking around too many ideas and never finish any of the ones that I previously started. So
Okay.
I gotta get
And
better at
the
that.
thing that you recently made, you edited that too, right? You were the editor?
Yeah. So that one,
Okay.
my wife was out of town just hanging out with some buddies, and I thought, well, I could either like work normal work and do chores and do what I should probably do, or
Mow the
I
lawn.
could make a short film on my iPhone. So I did that instead. I went.
Well, you
went
made the whole
movie.
thing in one weekend?
No, it took 12 days. 12 days to shoot everything.
Okay.
And then a whole lot more to edit because of
Right.
all the green screen involved, me talking to myself in every single scene.
Yeah, as far as the editing goes, the thing that impressed me the most was those scenes, the interrogation scenes where you're actually fighting with yourself.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Just because I know how hard it would be to do that.
Yeah, it's just about timing, and eye lines are the main thing, man. Eye lines is what would get me. Just making sure that it looks like you're looking in the right direction, and then sometimes you get a little tired and realize you're looking the wrong way, and like, oh, I got to reshoot all of that and look this way. So
here's a question. I know, like when I do my shows, even though I write the script and everything, when I'm actually shooting it and acting in it, I have to have the script right there or cue cards. Like I can't memorize my own lines. Like, how about you? Do you have to have a lot of aids, or are you able to commit it to memory?
No, I keep like doing that when we're just like for your shows, man. The fact that we're doing all of it, I think, is a lot of different hats to wear. So for me, I have the script close by because I think like once I write it out in my head, I'm like, oh, I know it. But just like you said, man, it's gone as soon as you get the lights set up and everything's set. So I keep it close by and then try to think of the tone of what the conversation is about.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, since so much of it is green screens, at least mine is, there's so much you have to imagine. I always have to look at the script and get some bearing and remember what I'm looking at, who I'm talking to, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's challenging, man.
Yeah.
It's a fun challenge because you just get to use your imagination, which I think is kind of fun. But
and like in the shows that you do now, do you end up doing a lot of green screen work, or is it still mostly just standard sets?
Mostly standard sets. I think it kind of depends. Like with Space Command, what we're shooting now is episode 4, technically, in Space Command Forgiveness, and that has a lot of practical sets that. Yeah, they've spent a lot of time. Have you been over there yet, Matt, to see all the...
I visited. In fact, I was there for the New Year's party when Tim Russ's band was playing.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
yeah, and awesome. I actually played violin in one of their songs.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was really fun. The problem was I didn't have an amp. So, like, a friend of mine took a cell phone video of it, and you couldn't hear a single note I played. The band was just totally blowing me away. But Tim and the keyboard player said they heard me. They could hear me, and they said it sounded really good. So I just have to take their word for it.
Tim Russ has been at it for a while, man. He has his own little gig that he does, man. That's cool.
Yeah. And he was telling me, ever since I interviewed him, we email each other a lot. Basically, I email him, and he responds.
Sure.
But he was saying right now he's quite busy. He's got like 2 or 3 projects that he's acting in. And he was just in Picard season 3.
Is he in there? Yeah, I haven't seen season 3 at all yet. Yeah.
So
wow.
So now suddenly, Tim Russ and his character Tuvok are now back into the public consciousness.
That's cool, man. I like that they pulled everybody back, man. I think that's not only does it pull all of us back into it, but it also like just keeps it going, man. Because you're like, this is where it all began. We get to just see what adventures still to lie. It's great.
Yeah,
man.
and of course, Space Command has a whole bunch of Star Trek actors in it.
Yeah.
Another one who's now in Space Command is Sean Kenny, who he plays Captain Pike in the original series.
Yeah,
in the wheelchair. And he lives down in LA. And so he's in Space Command now. He's also going to be at Vegas. All these people are going to be at Vegas. That's why you got to go, man.
Yeah,
you got to figure out how to get there.
I will.
All right, we're going to have so much fun too. Because the great thing about Vegas is almost everybody stays in the Rio in the hotel where the whole thing's happening. So when the convention ends around 6, then all the Star Trek people start hanging out at the bars and having all these conversations, and you just end up meeting all these people after hours,
Yeah, where they're more relaxed.
It's super fun,
Yeah.
Or if you want to just actually tour Vegas, you can also go down and check out, like Caesar's Palace and stuff like that.
Start making the rounds, going through all the artwork and everything, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Las Vegas in a bit, but yeah, I was like going through the Bellagio and things like that.
Yeah, those
Beautiful.
are the places.
Yeah.
Those are the places to go to. Yeah, that's cool. So, I have a question. So, even though you're getting lots of work, I know Brian is like he's auditioning all the time. Like he's every time I talk to him, he's like, I got like 10 auditions this week or whatever, some huge amount, and then of course only 1 in 20 of them actually turn into a gig. Is that like, do you have to audition that much, or are you enough in demand now that you don't have to be on that insane of a schedule?
The same boat, man. We're very, very similar. Yeah, it's just the idea of, I think you start making relationships with people just when you book roles and things like that. But I think that a lot of it just, it's all luck of the draw, man. You just, you get an audition, you decide to try to make it your own and bring life to it, and then you just try your best to just send it off and forget about it as best you can until you get a phone call being like, hey, you remember this when you did this? You got it. So then you celebrate.
That's cool. But I mean, that is a tough life. I mean, even somebody like you who's a well-known face now, it's like how do you make ends meet in between gigs? Do you still have to have like a day job or some kind of other alternate source of income?
Yeah, so at the moment I don't, just based on the amount of, like, you just kind of hope that it keeps rolling. But then sometimes when it gets a little tight and you start thinking like, I should probably figure something out. But I worked at a restaurant for a good amount of time right when I first came out to Atlanta.
Okay.
And then when I was in LA, man, I was in LA for a while. And at one point, I think I had 4 jobs. My wife and I were, what were we? We were resident managers at 2 apartment complexes. So we got like cheap rent there. So we were figuring out that I don't really recommend that gig.
So what the hell do you do if you're like on set and somebody calls, the toilet's overflowing in unit 3, get the hell over here?
Yeah, like, you got to start making phone calls and plumbers and it was
so you had to make those calls right when you're on set.
Yeah, I guess not luckily, but a lot of it I wasn't working on set too much at the time because there was just no time to, because all the other jobs I was doing. What else? I was a graveyard shift driver for a pastry delivery shop. So I drove a little van all around Los Angeles, just delivering pastries.
Did you ever have a situation where people would recognize you?
No, not really. I mean, sometimes you'll get the look, but you don't know if they just recognize you because you were there last weekend delivering pastries, or if it's like, wait, you look familiar to me. I don't know why. But I'm pretty sure it was the pastries.
So, I'm pretty sure these days, like if you delivered a Domino's pizza to somebody's house, they'd be, oh my God.
They'd be like, oh, you look really familiar.
So you could just say, well, yeah, I know. I look just like him. I've done a bunch of YouTube videos and people think I'm him. It's really funny.
Right.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I know a guy who looks exactly like the dude who played Kylo Ren in the Star Wars movie.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like him. I mean, exactly. So he cosplays him and people think it's him. Yeah.
I think that's great though, man, because then it's like an experience for the audience to be like, wait, is that really him?
Yeah. So
like, was that what's his name?
He's called Tim Possible.
Tim Possible?
Tim Possible is the guy who looks like the real actor.
Oh, cool.
He's one of my friends on Twitter. Yeah.
I was thinking of when what's his name that played Walter White? Can't think of his name right now. Bryan Cranston. They said that Bryan Cranston, when he was doing Breaking Bad, he showed up at Comic-Con dressed as himself. So he had a Walter White mask over himself.
Okay.
And he was walking around and nobody'd think anything. And then he went up on stage and took his mask off and he's himself. I thought that was pretty funny, man. That's a little bit.
That's cool. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Well, I mean, so like if you're an actor, so if you're moderately famous, which I guess I would say you are, you still have your life. Like you could go to the grocery store and buy some stuff, and you wouldn't be mobbed by a bunch of paparazzis and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, no, not at all, man. Yeah.
So you can
I think
still be a normal guy.
yeah, that's a good spot to be, I think.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you get too famous and suddenly you can't even walk around anywhere on Earth, that to me would really suck. Like that would get old really fast.
Yeah.
So
I heard there's an interview with Matt Damon was talking about after Good Will Hunting.
yeah,
He said that they he says nothing in your life changes, but everybody else's vision of who you are changes because all of a sudden you're recognized. But he said he would go into a coffee shop the day before, it doesn't matter, he just gets his coffee. But then all of a sudden everybody like turns and looks at you like, I know that guy.
yeah.
Oh, you're that one guy. So he said it was just kind of a strange dynamic that everybody around you changes, but you don't change.
Okay, very interesting. And then of course he was in The Martian and all the Bourne movies and stuff like that too. So now he's totally
yeah. He shot into the stratosphere, man.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it. It's a funny example, man. Is right when we first started shooting Space Command back in the day.
Okay.
I asked Mark Zickery. I said, "Hey, could I borrow the suit and go to the Anaheim Comic Con, which is now in LA? I think is it LA convention in LA now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but it was in
Seattle. I
Anaheim.
don't know anything.
That's a good one. Okay. But yeah, he let me borrow the Jack Kemmer Space Command suit, man. So I threw it on and I was strutting down. I went with my brother and his wife. And as we were walking into the convention center, a lady looked at me and she goes, "Who the hell are you?" I said, "What do you mean?" "Captain Jack Kemmer of Space Command." She just like shakes her head like, "Well, who the hell is that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just kidding around." It was really funny. And then I go into the convention and immediately meet up with somebody who looks at me and they're like, "Jack Kemmer, your Space Command." So it's just so funny, like outside of the building, nobody knows who I'm dressed as. And then I go in the building, people are like, "You're Jack Kemmer." Really funny, man. It was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, both ends of the spectrum. It was fun.
So, okay, here's the new question. I think we talked about this once back when I interviewed you and Brian together. So, would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm an introvert, man. I'm actually an introvert. Yeah. I think something about being an actor, I like the idea of being somebody else like that. I like that aspect of bringing somebody else to the table. I think is kind of fun because I think I tip my hat to people that can just be themselves, man. I think you do a good job of doing that, man. I feel like you can just be yourself.
Like right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though
But
I
yeah,
do like to put
definitely
on characters too. Like when I started just doing acting just by myself before I had any training.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was all about just putting in characters at that time. And I found it super freeing because I could become a character. And then I realized once I'm that character, I can get that character to say anything.
Yeah. It's a different point of view. It's a different thought process.
And it kind of helped me get out of my shell because then I realized that if I'm in like a situation, for example, where I got to be a tough guy, before maybe I might not have been able to do it as Matt Weiss, but now I'm like, oh, I'll just put on my tough guy character and make him talk. It's a real life situation, but I'm playing my tough guy character. And I found out,
well, a little bit of a shield, man.
Yeah. So I found that super freeing actually. And it helped me. Also, what the other thing I'm sure that you've experienced is you create a character, but always that character you create has some aspects of your real self in it.
Yeah.
So then you
I think it has to.
And then you explore,
excuse me.
If it's sort of a negative character and you're showing, your dark underside of yourself, it still allows you to let that come out. And then now you can sort of work with it. Whereas before you were so identified with it, you couldn't really show it. Does that make any sense what I'm saying? Yeah,
it does, man. It does. Yeah, it's kind of therapeutic. Almost.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I hope that like some of the characters, I play a lot of bad guys, man. So I guess, there has to be an element of me that I can bring to the table with that. but I hope
Right.
people don't see me as like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's I don't, folks, in case you didn't notice, in real life, Ethan is like a total sweetheart.
nah, thanks,
Like
man.
I mean, I tell him he's like a hunky fireman that you want to show up and save your cat, get your cat down from the tree.
Yeah, only on TV though. I don't know.
So yeah, so it's just kind of strange that in real life you're this guy, but in a lot of shows you end up playing a really terrible human being, bad guy type of dude.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Funny example, man. I went to a convention just this last weekend for The Walking Dead. It's called The Camp, which I highly recommend it, man. Just a great group of people that come just to meet a lot of cast members from The Walking Dead and things like that. And I got to sit at a booth and sign autographs and take photos. And me and one of the other guys, we play the Reapers in season 11 of The Walking Dead. So we got to go to our Reaper compound and do a tour with people. And I got to see mostly like the exterior of it, but we get to like share stories and things like that. But we did a panel, man, where we were being interviewed, and a lady in the front row she raised her hand saying, like, I just want to say that I'm going to look at the Reapers in a whole different way now based on how you guys are. Because Robert Hayes and Robert, again, just very nice guy, very friendly guy, loves to have a good time. It's just funny, like, here we are playing like in the reel, I'm the guy with the blunderbuss kicking down doors, screaming at zombies or whatever,
Yeah.
But it's funny that she raised her hand and said, like, I think I'm going to rewatch that and have a little more heart for you guys. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's
time.
So can your wife Athena, can she watch shows that you play bad guys in?
Yeah, I think it's the times when, because a lot of times the bad guys doesn't turn out well for them in the end. So I think when it comes to that part of the show or the film, then it's not as fun to watch because you see, I don't know, like in The Walking Dead, and I guess no spoilers, but it doesn't go well for me, I'll say.
Yeah.
But like those kinds of scenes, I think makes it a little bit uncomfortable to watch. But being the bad guy is just being a character.
Because I know I once watched an interview with Jason Isaacs. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah, he's great.
He's another fantastic actor who always plays bad guys. And he says his wife refuses to watch any of his movies and any of his shows because she says, I don't want to see you like that. That's not who you are.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So, and he's of course
another
really
guy, just
guy
a
in real
really nice
life.
guy.
Yeah. So funny.
She won't watch it though, huh?
That's what he said. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he said she refuses to even talk about his acting career because he always plays bad guys, and she's like doesn't want to associate with it at all.
Yeah,
so,
he's Lucius Malfoy, right? Is he Lucius in Harry Potter?
Yeah, he's all kinds of things.
Yeah,
and then he was the evil captain in the first season of Discovery.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there was a show called oh crap, what was it called? It was a terrible name because the name means nothing. It was called the O something or another. What was it called? The OA.
Oh yeah. I think I saw some of that. I didn't stick with it though, but I saw some of that.
It's a really good show where he plays his character is this guy that abducts these people and keeps them locked in this like glass menagerie in his basement. So he's a total total bad guy, but it's a great show. He said it was his best show that he'd ever played, and he was heartbroken when they canceled it.
Yeah,
but I think it got like 5 seasons, 4 or 5.
Was it 5? Okay, yeah. I was guessing 3, but I think I maybe only made it 1 in, and I don't remember.
But the worst thing about that show is the name, the OA. You see a show that says the OA, and it means absolutely nothing. So, I mean, why would you want to watch a show called that?
Maybe out of curiosity? I don't know. Like, what is the OA? What does it mean? What's it stand for?
I can't even remember what it means myself. But it's...
I feel like, was it on their arms or something? I forget.
No,
is that how he marked them?
She was the OA. Well, the person who produced the show... Also, and she wrote it, she produced it, and she was the lead actor in it. Super talented, cool. Yeah. and of course I can't remember her name.
I remember there's a scene about the dog or something. Wasn't there a dog like
Yeah.
biting her hand? Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
This show is like it's about like sort of interdimensional travel and stuff like
Okay.
that. It's a sci-fi show, and it's
Do they
really
all meet
good.
in a cabin or something, or like a one room, like random strangers? I might be mixing
Yeah,
stuff
so
up.
what they do is, well, part of it is they live in this sort of rather normal kind of suburb, and they just hang out in these houses nearby that are being constructed. So they're just hanging out in the middle of the night, telling stories,
Yeah.
and with the candles and stuff. And then what happens is then they kind of end up through these magical means going to those places they're talking about,
That's
And
kind of fun, though.
it's
man.
a
That's
fun,
cool.
it's a really good show. Anyway, well, okay, so back to your stuff. So do you have
Sure.
anything in the wings, like sort of floating around in your mind that you really want to do?
Yeah, well, something I just did, man, was a lot of fun. I got to be a lead in a feature film, man. I actually
Oh,
filmed it out in Warrenton, Virginia. So I went out to
okay,
Virginia for, I don't know how many days, a couple weeks, about 2.5 weeks. I
okay.
just got back on, that's why I have facial hair for that. But I got to play a guy who's just kind of down and out on his luck and kind of meets the wrong girl and they're not good for each other kind of a thing. And
But you're
bad
the
things
lead.
start to happen. Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty exciting, man. It's called Love Dogs.
Cool.
The writer director just had an idea. He just kind of stretched it into a film. It's his first feature film, so
Oh,
we got a
cool.
cool crew together, man. It was great experience. We're doing it's in post production now. Of course, we have what do I got? A few pickup days, three pickup days starting next week. I'm heading back out to Virginia on Saturday,
Okay.
but that'll be
So
fun.
what's a pickup day?
So a pickup day is when there are scenes that we couldn't quite get to due to the schedule. So originally I was supposed to, these are flashback scenes, so I have to have a clean shaven face.
Okay.
So we were unable to do those, so we have to do them later on. So that would be a pickup day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just extra days that you couldn't quite get to. So
Okay.
not quite reshoots, but a pickup.
Pickup day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta, guys. I need to head out next week for a pickup day, but I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
But
and
yeah, it'll be fun, man. It'll be good.
Yeah.
We get to go out and
yeah,
see
Ethan
everybody.
invited me, to help
That's
him
right.
pick things up.
Yeah, we just got to pick some stuff up.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, it's a
needed
pickup day.
they needed a Pranakasha Matt cameo to make help sell the show.
Correct. That's right. Yeah. Correct. Yes.
Okay. So life has been good since you moved to Atlanta so many years ago, apparently.
Yeah,
That was a
it's
good
been-
move.
It was risky, man. It felt very risky doing it. It was
Okay.
it was a lot of my wife just kind of looking at what we're doing. Like that's when we're doing the resident managers and all, we're working at coffee shops and all these delivering pastries and everything. And she's like, I think we should probably make a change. And I'm like, yeah, I think so. Yeah. And we reached out to Mr. Brian McClure and we had some buddies out here that were doing pretty well. And it sounded unreal. Like they were saying like, yeah, we have, X amount of auditions, every month. And that was more than I would get in 2 or 3 years. So I'm like, in a month?
Really?
You're getting that? Yeah. So it was pretty significant.
Okay. Plus, the standard of living is lower in Atlanta, right? So you don't have to pay so much crazy rent.
Yeah, not as expensive. It's a little bit slower pace of life, and there's actual like beautiful trees that you can look at. There's not really too many trees out in Los Angeles. There are, but not like this. Yeah.
But does Atlanta have beaches?
Technically, yeah. Not close by Atlanta, but like over by Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Like it's close to Florida, and North Carolina, South Carolina, and even down like was it New Orleans? You can get down in Louisiana, so you can find water.
Okay, so you're within range of a lot of stuff then.
Yeah. So moving out here is, instead of just moving to the Atlanta market, it's considered the Southeast. So that means that Atlanta's the hub for the most part, and then we work in all the surrounding areas, like within 500 miles or whatever.
Oh, so you could get work in New York and in Miami and all that stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, which is neat, man. That was a neat part of what it was. It's funny moving from Los Angeles. people will say like, "Oh, I drove over from Florida," and in my head early on, I was like, "From Florida," but I'm like, "Oh, it's just a few hours away." But yeah, that was me. My thinking had to catch up with.
But let me see, Atlanta. But you're kind of like you couldn't like just drive across the Mexican border to be a guest star in a novella.
No, that would be fun though, man. That'd be fun.
Do you know any Spanish?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, bueno.
I did. Bueno. Yeah, yo estudia español en la escuela, ¿cómo se dice? High school. I learned Spanish in high school and then into college a little bit and then just kept trying to hang on to it, but I don't ever use it. Do you know Spanish?
You got to practice it. Un poquito.
Yeah.
Pero necesito practicar.
Sí, yo también.
Yeah. En Seattle, hay muchas personas latinas.
Sí? Ah, bueno.
So there's opportunities to practice a lot more here. In fact, my hairstylist is a Latina.
Oh yeah, that's great, man.
So she's helping me. She's helped me with my Spanish, and I'm helping her with her English. Her English is way better than my Spanish, and basically the only thing I'm helping her with is I'm helping her with pronunciation, and then also sometimes she'll say stuff that makes sense, but it's not really idiomatic. So then I'll just say, here's how you would say it most likely. Yeah,
kind of realign the words a little bit.
Yeah, but that kind of
stuff.
I
need to practice a lot more though, man. I've always loved languages in general. Like if there's ever a vacation that we would be going to, I'd try to learn, in your car language.
Speaking of languages, remember I asked you if you had a German accent?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is not great, but I can try.
You can try. We have ways to make you try, sir.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Ethan to do a guest role in my show. Playing my dad. So you're actually younger than me, right? I'm 57. How old are you?
I'm 43 now.
Yeah, so you're a bit younger. So, well, somehow if we do it, I mean, we're talking 2 episodes from now, so it's probably the way things are going. That's like 2 years.
Yeah, it takes time, man. It takes time.
I guess I wouldn't want to put a wig on you because it would have to be a really good wig, otherwise it looks stupid. But I mean, we'd have to figure out a way to make your hair look gray, I guess.
Just spray it.
Okay. It has to look good. I mean, even though my show's super low budget, it still can't look too hokey because it'll ruin it. Yeah. But yeah.
I like it.
Do you know Nate? Nathaniel Freeman?
Yeah.
He's in my current episode. I don't know if I told you.
Oh, you said Sarah Marafino just did one, and then
well, actually, Sarah and I have tried to shoot her stuff, but every single time something happens. So now we're going to try this week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but Nate's stuff, Nathaniel Freeman's stuff, is all shot.
Good. How did it turn out?
It was really good. I haven't edited it yet, so because I got 1,000 things going on right now in my life. But as far as what I can tell, it all looked really good.
Good, man. Good.
He's out of the country now for a while.
Is he? I didn't know that.
He's visiting a friend in, I think it's Amsterdam. But he's also planning to be in Vegas, so he'll be there. I'm telling you, it's going to be a total party. We're going to have so much fun.
I'd love it, man. Yeah. I think it should line up. I think it's lining up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Kenny's going to be in it. I haven't shot his stuff yet, but I got a lot of because I got SAG approved. Of course, what could happen? There could be a SAG strike, and that could shoot everything down.
Right.
And that people keep saying that's like not very far off.
So technically today, is like the last day to vote for that to move towards a strike through SAG.
Oh, really?
So it's a big day for the Screen Actors Guild. Yeah.
Ooh.
Not that the strike's going on because it's not until the end of the month. But
if they say yes.
If
they agree to strike.
Yeah. So this is everybody kind of getting together to say like, all right, do we have the numbers to strike if we want to, or do we not? That's kind of what this one is.
Yeah. So did they say what their demands are going to be?
I haven't read too much about what the demands are, so I don't think all of that is out there. I'm pretty sure there is definitely some things out there, but yeah, I don't know what the fine print is.
Yeah.
but I think we will very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably really similar to what the actors or the Writers Guild is saying. I mean, the main thing is, of course, is even if you're on a show, nowadays they only do like 10 or 12 episodes. So you're employed for a third of a year and then you're out of a job again.
Yep.
So they're trying to
It's a
figure out
tough
ways to
racket,
help
man.
that. Even if you're
Yeah.
even if you're not you're the main character on that show, it's still only you know part of the year. Well, what I talked to some editors, for example,
Yeah.
it affects them too. Like they're editing a great show. Like the guy who was editing Chad Rebell was one of the editors on Star Trek Discovery. A multi-million-dollar show.
Major show.
Yeah. But he's like, he only works like, I think it's 4 or 5 months of the year, and then he doesn't have a paycheck unless he can find another gig.
That's when you start sweating, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's super hard to raise a family like that. So that's why
I'm curious to see what adjustments will be made, man. I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity to that. I don't know. There's so many different factors that are going in, because then you bring in AI and everything like that. Like that was even just a small little element of the Writers Guild asks, and it's interesting to see, like, there's a lot going on right now, man. So it's
that AI thing, that's scary. I mean, so I what I heard was for the SAG one, they want to have a line in there where you still have the rights to your likeness, so that they can't create an AI model of your face and just tell that to talk and never hire you again.
Yeah. Because so technically I've been scanned by Marvel because of Miss Marvel. So if they wanted to have me in an episode, unbeknownst to me, they could just have every aspect of me and just throw me in there and have it do whatever they want to do. I mean,
of course,
I think
you can still tell it's fake. I mean, even the very best AI that I've seen, which it costs a huge amount of money because they basically have to really clean it up, you can still tell. So that's the saving grace.
Just off about it, but
it looks freaky, like it doesn't look real.
Something's off. Yeah,
doesn't have a soul.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, though, man. I think AI is here no matter what. So I think it's the idea of like kind of jumping on board along with it, which is scary, because I'm getting older, Mr.
Well,
Weiss.
you know what my theory is, though? I know they're saying the AI is going to have superhuman powers and be able to do everything better than human beings, but I don't buy that, because I still the thing about AI is it doesn't have actual consciousness or awareness or a soul, if you want to call it that. It's just faking it.
Yep.
So as long as AI is just faking it, we're fine. Now, if somehow they figure out how a person's life energy and their soul can then inhabit an android, then we may be in trouble.
We're working with something else. Yeah, that's something a little bit different.
Yeah, so
that's a T2.
We'll see. Wait a minute here. But so another thing about that, though, it could go another direction in that once we start having like robots and AI doing the more mindless tasks that human beings are doing now, the repetitive stuff, it may just make us more aware of the part of it, the human part of us and the creative part, how much more valuable that is.
Yeah, like what our true capabilities can be.
Right. Because one thing about AI is that it's good at doing some stuff, but it's terrible at doing other things that require just sort of general common sense. It can make some super stupid mistakes. So then we start to think, I think what it'll do is it'll show us there's certain aspects of human beings that we can do really well that right now we just all take for granted because we're so good at it.
Yeah.
And then it'll show us these are the things that we do way better than AI and way better than robots can do. So I kind of predict that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, kind of a meshing of both worlds almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It is interesting to see robots more readily available, though, in different. Like, we went to like a sushi restaurant the other day, and a robot pulls up to your table and gives you your food. You're just like, oh,
Oh,
weird,
interesting.
but it's kind of cool. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's like Short Circuit, man. Back in the day, it's
Yeah.
coming true. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild. So they got
Yeah.
sushi in Atlanta, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
I
good
thought you
sushi.
guys are out in the sticks. I figured,
Yeah, there's a lot of good Southern comfort food out here. There's everything out here, man.
Yeah.
So Atlanta is kind of a foodie town, actually. I would say, man. There's good stuff. Like,
Okay.
I worked at a restaurant that was South African food, delicious.
Oh, wow.
There's good Mediterranean foud. There's
Oh, I
all
love
kinds of stuff.
Mediterranean food.
Cuban food. Yeah, yeah.
Cuban.
There's a place out here
wow.
called Buford Highway. And It's
Okay.
just this long stretch of like mom and pop shops from all different cultures, and you just go out there and eat as much as possible, and then waddle home, nap it off,
Interesting.
get right back at it.
Aha. Yeah, I actually went to my first sushi restaurant on Monday. No,
Oh
today.
yeah, what'd you think?
No, today's Monday, right?
Monday, yeah.
Okay, one Monday ago.
The first time ever?
Yeah. I'd had sushi that you can just buy from the store,
Yeah.
but it was always the vegetarian one. So I've never actually had the stuff with the actual raw fish in it until last week. And,
what do you think?
I actually really liked it
Oh,
because
good.
there was the amount of raw fish in the sushi roll that I had was pretty minimal. It was mostly other stuff. So
Yeah,
the combination
different
of the whole
veggies
thing sounded great. Tasted great, I mean.
Good, man. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it. Would you eat it again? Or would you
Yeah.
wait a little bit? Or would you go right back in?
Well, okay. So the funny thing was, I went with a friend of mine, and it was quite an event. So we decided, yeah, we should go out to sushi again, but we should wait a year.
All right, there you
So,
go. An
anyway.
annual thing, man. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
So
So by that
yeah.
time, there'll be robots giving it to you, man, flying down to your table to drop your sushi
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So okay, so what else do you do? Do you like to go to baseball games, or like what things do you do to keep yourself entertained in between acting gigs?
I've still been trying to play basketball, man. I've always liked basketball forever.
Okay.
And my next door neighbor here, we actually got into a community league where you get jerseys, there's refs and scoreboards and all kinds of stuff. And you go there and prove how old you are.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I've been trying to play basketball. But
Okay. Now
I feel it more and more every night.
Is this street basketball where you're allowed to body check people, or is it more civilized?
Well, so the league is a little more civilized, but then there's parks close by where I live that is not as civilized, but equally as fun. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll go there and catch a couple of elbows from time to time, and yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, actually last April I was playing street ball.
Okay.
And I went to steal the ball, and my pinky got caught in the guy's pocket.
Oh no.
And he spun, and my
shoot.
finger went with it, and it separated this pinky from my hand. So I broke this bone right here, my fifth metacarpal. So considered a boxer's fracture, but it was from playing basketball. Got my finger caught in there. So I had to wear a cast and all kinds of stuff for.
Now you mean separated
going.
it from your body? You mean it completely separated?
No, sorry, man. No. It just pulled it away, which brought this bone away from my hand and broke it. Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. I would not recommend it, and we lost the game, so it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so enter your own risk when doing physical activity.
Such things. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you take it like a man, or did you cry like a baby?
I took it very confused, actually. I was like, I think my hand's broken, but I'm gonna keep playing. And I went to catch the ball.
Oh, you kept playing? Oh,
it's very stupid. But yeah, I went to catch the ball, and the ball went through my hand, and my hand buckled like this.
Oh.
So it just went right through my hand. I thought, it's definitely broken. So yeah, I tried to play it tough. I stayed like a night trying to push through, and then my wife was finally like, I think you should probably go to the doctor, and she was correct.
Yeah.
It was broken.
I only fainted once in my life,
Oof.
And it was
that's scary,
because what
man.
I did was I slammed my finger in a car door, and then I was looking at my finger, and it took the whole fingernail off, and there was blood everywhere, and I was just looking at it, and suddenly it was like, the best way I can describe it, it was like your foot fell asleep, except instead of your foot, it's your head. So it just went whoosh.
Yeah, just
Next thing I know, luckily, I was able to just sort of crouch down onto the sidewalk. I didn't just completely go conk. But still, I woke up like maybe a second later or whatever.
Yeah, that's scary, man. It's scary.
It happened so fast, too. I just went into shock, apparently, and conked out.
Yeah. Do you kind of remember coming to, though? Like, could you tell, like, I think I passed out, or were you just kind of out of it?
Well, the weird thing is I remember the experience, and it was a time in my life when I was really stressed out. So I was just constantly stressed, right? Yeah. And what I remember is I went whoosh, and suddenly all my stress was gone, and I was like, wow, this feels great. I finally feel good. And then I went whoosh again, and then I'm like, oh, I'm on the floor, and I'm stressed again.
Wow, man. That's really it. So it's an actual kind of outer body experience a little bit, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It all happened in the course of like 1 second. But that 1 second of in between the whooshes, I can still remember, it felt really good. The only way I can describe it is it feels the same way as I felt when I had my kidney stone, and they gave me Percocet intravenously.
Oh, wow.
Which is one of those Oxycontins, which is basically heroin. Oh, so, man. And I remember the same thing. It destroyed all my pain in about, I was like on the table in total pain going, And then suddenly just whoosh, within like 2 seconds, I was like,
sorry.
Hey, how's it going? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Because not only was all my pain gone, all my stress once again was gone. And I was just like, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, well, so I wonder that when you passed out for that second, if it has that kind of similar feel, man. I don't know. That's really interesting.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it turned off the pain part of your brain and just sent you in the bliss part of your brain where everything's
just
great.
Sit here real quick.
Yeah.
Soak this up. Yeah.
So that's why then after I had that Percocet, I'm like, okay, I can see how people get hooked on this shit. I got to be real careful.
Oh, because of that feeling? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's scary, man. You don't want to go down that road.
Yeah. 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 How did we get on this subject?
We're talking about hobbies and things.
Basketball, and you broke your finger.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you do any art or anything like that, or music or anything like that?
A little bit, man. I don't practice enough. Like I play a little guitar, which I enjoy.
Oh, cool.
Athena has a piano, which is kind of fun.
Oh.
Back in the day, I played alto saxophone in the in the high school band and stuff. Yeah, man.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, do you still have your sax?
I don't, man. I don't have it. Yeah. Yeah, I did for a bit, and I would kind of play it, but not enough to hang. I should have hung on to it, man.
Okay.
But what else? I had a.
You could always get one you could rent one at a music store in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was an alto. I feel like I would maybe switch over to tenor, maybe just for that kind of deeper feel. But I also had a little small kit that was bagpipes, man. When I was little, my aunt bought some bagpipes, and that was kind of funny to try to figure that out. But,
that's cool.
Yeah, not good for the neighbors, but
yeah, bagpipes are loud.
Yeah,
super loud,
and constant. Yeah,
yeah.
But a little bit, man. I don't practice enough to say like I wouldn't consider myself a musician.
Okay, do you sing at all? Sounds like you're a musician.
Karaoke, maybe. I don't really. I don't know if I could be in a band and go up there and. I guess like we were saying earlier, like the idea of putting a character on, maybe I could go up there and do it, but I couldn't be up there and be myself and sing. I think I'd be too nervous. It's that introverted side, man.
You could just pretend you're Frank Sinatra or something.
Yeah. There you go. Throw a suit on. Yeah. A little bit of crooning.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances. Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, singing.
And your wife Athena. Your wife Athena is an actor too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of roles does she like to get?
So she is wonderful at comedy.
Okay.
But everybody puts her in very serious roles all the time. Like she plays a lot of doctors and like nurses, and we got to figure this stuff out. But she's had. There's a new show called Swarm that's out right now, which is very, very dark, very intense. But it's on Hulu, I think, or Prime. I forget.
Amazon Prime.
But yeah, she has a cool little scene with the main lead in Swarm, and she was in Dope Sick, which is on Hulu, which was a big one for Rosario Dawson and Michael Keaton, and yeah, what else? George and Tammy is about George Jones and Tammy Wynette. Like they were two country singers, but she has a fun little role there with Michael Shannon, and but yeah, she gets a lot of more serious things, but she's great at comedy.
Oh, cool. How long have you guys been married?
19 years, man. Going on 19
congratulations.
years we've been together. Yeah, thanks,
Did you guys ever want to have kids or?
No, not really, man. We would talk about it back and forth, but we have a dog now. We realize, like, I think this is more our speed.
Okay. Because I don't know how in the world actors raise kids with this insane schedule where you've just got to constantly be auditioning, and then when you finally land something, you just got to be able to jump and go do it.
Everything changes. I tip my hat, man, to families that, especially if they're both actors or musicians or performers or just creatives, man. It's like you said, it's hard to maintain a living income and like that. If you got mouths
and
to
then
feed,
be a
man,
parent.
that's scary. Yeah.
'Cause I know. Do you know Eddie Gonham? She played a lead role in Brian's movie.
I haven't met her. I don't think. Yeah,
she's like a single mom now. And she got her. I think one of her kids a teenager too. So I don't know how she does it. 'Cause she's in a couple of shows too. There was a show. That show about the maids. I think she had a lead role in it. What was it called? I never watched it, but it was a pretty well-known show.
About the maids. I mean, there is one called Maid. I haven't seen it, but I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, I haven't met her though. But yeah,
she's really neat.
That's hard work, man. It's hard work.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So then, do you want to direct at some point, or do you?
Yeah, I would love to, man. I really enjoy writing. That's what I was saying. I like to have multiple ideas going at once, but that's kind of what I was saying at the beginning, is that I kind of get caught up not ever finishing any of them, which is a bad habit to have. But yeah, I'd like to try to direct a feature film. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be neat to, but just settling on what idea and what kind of budgets and things that don't get too far out of hand. And I don't know. Yeah, I would love to though, man. I would love to.
Okay. Do you want to divulge any of your half-done scripts?
Oh man, I got a bunch of random things. I don't even know if it's worth divulging because it's all a mess. No, there's like a horror one that I think would be fun. I have an older brother, and he bought this. He has a truck that is like the town that we kind of grew up near. There's a quintessential truck that would drive around town that has mirrored horns on it. It's like a big giant, looks like a monster truck. And my brother got that at an auction, which I think is hilarious. And I told him that we need to make like a horror movie, and that'll be like like Christine, kind of something along those lines. But yeah.
Okay.
We're just kicking around ideas like that, just based on things that we have access to and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, here's one for you. I don't know if you have heard if Brian told you, but I was telling Brian that you and Brian should do a Batman and Robin thing.
I like that. Yeah.
You'd be a really good Batman. And he'd be a great Robin.
Just kidding. I think it'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
I think anything with superheroes, man, is
I
think just from being a kid, it's always cool. I think there's a lot of superhero stuff out there now, so I think it's starting to lose its luster, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope for kids.
But if you could put a new spin on it, like what you guys could do, you could do like the 60s Adam West one.
That'd be
To
cool.
go to the sort of
Yeah,
comedy, sort of surreal version of it.
yeah.
Just do it with
Practical
green
effects.
screens and just do it like that. Like just try it. Like try to do like a 2 or 3 minute video.
Yeah.
And then if
Like
you
a
did it
teaser.
that way, you could fake it. Like I could show you how to do it, how you could put you guys in the 60s version of the Batmobile, for example, and you could use their footage mostly, but then put you guys in it,
Just cheat around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, man.
And if you do it well, then it ends up, I mean, people know you're doing it. But if you do it really well and make it convincing, it still gives the show this aura of high quality production.
Yeah. Because it's there.
So,
You're in the Batmobile.
And especially if it's like a 2 to 3 minute video and you're just goofing around, Yeah,
I
that
think it'd
could be a
fun, man.
possibility.
I like that. Well, what character would you be, man? You got to be in there.
Oh, I could try to be, what's the guy's name? The butler?
Oh, Alfred, man.
Alfred.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, the Batmobile is ready, sir. Would you please?
Thank you, Alfred. I'll pull it around.
I could do that. I could do that. Now we need somebody to play Batgirl. Actually, we could get Sarah to be the Catwoman.
There we go. Yeah, look at that. It's
She would rock
itself,
as the Catwoman.
Yeah, she'd be great at that. She'd be great.
Now, fingers crossed, I'm going to see her on Thursday. So I guess I got to remember to float the idea.
Yeah, throw it out there. No, tell her to say hi, though, man.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah, of course, I forgot what her character's name is in Space Command. What's her character's name?
She's Laura Essex. Captain Essex.
Captain Essex. So in her role there, she's this really tough chick, right? Super short, platinum blonde hair, and she's just like a total warrior.
Yeah.
So I expected her to be
Steel
that
wall
way.
up.
But of course, in real life, she's a complete sweetheart.
Yeah, she's great.
So
yeah.
she does play some tough chick type of roles, but she can also play comedy.
Yeah, she's hilarious. She has a big improv background. And
yeah,
she loves just having fun.
Yeah, and she's also quite spiritual. Like she knows how to do tarot decks.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that.
That's great.
Yeah, and So fingers crossed, but she seems to be a little bit technology challenged because we're having a hell of a time getting these darn Zoom meetings to actually happen. So I think this is actually going to be our third try. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think it's always funny when Zoom has like an update and all of a sudden things change. You're like, wait a minute, this is different.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
So we'll see.
Couple hurdles. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all cool. Wow. Okay. So let's see. How are we doing? Well, we've been yakking for an hour so far. Is there any things you want to plug before we wrap it up?
Man, I mean, just different shows that are coming out, man. It's just been, it's funny how sometimes you'll film something and it comes out in 3 years, and sometimes you film something that comes out in a month. So sometimes they line up, and it's kind of interesting. But there's in the pilot episode of an NBC show called Found, which is the lead actress is Shanola Hampton. That she was one of the main characters in Shameless, man. But she's the lead in this and producing it and all kinds of stuff, man. But that'll be on NBC Thursday nights in the fall. So that's a big evening to have and stuff. So that'll be good.
What role are you playing in that?
I'm in the pilot episode as a senator. So I'm playing a politician, man.
Senator Ethan. So I imagine you're rather clean shaven in that one.
Yeah. No scruff. Couldn't have the scruff.
Which Ethan do you prefer?
I like being clean shaven mostly, just because I don't know. It's just, I feel more comfortable. But I think when this gets going, it's nice because then I don't have to worry about anything, I guess. But I prefer, like, anytime that I have to have a beard, I always kind of get stuck because sometimes auditioning wise, people want me to be clean shaven. I have a better chance of like being across the board different actor kind of thing, if that makes sense. But when I have facial hair, I have to be scruffy guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, do you ever
But it's stuck.
ever add a bit of wax to the mustache end to twirl it up a bit?
I've tried before. Yeah. Yeah, I have a buddy actually, man, that has a beard wax called Vainglory.
Okay.
But it's they sell their own wax and all kinds of stuff, man, and beard oils and things. So it's funny. He was in the military, man. He just had some ideas of like, you know what, I kind of want to make my own beard oil and beard wax, and he got some buddies together and they're doing it, man. So
That's cool.
Cool to see it. Yeah. Yeah.
In that case, I assume they just use what everyone else uses, and the trick is how you package it.
Probably. Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
I wish I could get it to curl, but I don't know. All in due time. In due time. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get you a cowboy hat. Got any cowboy hats available?
I do. Yeah.
Well, let's put it on.
You want a cowboy hat?
Yeah, I want to see you in the cowboy hat with the mustache.
There's this style here.
Yeah.
Kind of a cowboy hat.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more like this.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Let's see, I got this. This one's.
There we go.
Here's my dog, Ollie, if you want to see Ollie.
Oh, it's Cowboy Matt talking to Cowboy Ethan. Hey, Ethan. How's it going?
Hey there, Matt. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah. You got any fences need mending over there?
Yeah, I got about 50 head of cattle. Just got through there. Got them mended up pronto. That's what I like to say. But
I don't suppose they got them newfangled battery-powered cow zappers.
Oh, man, if I could get my hands on one of them. Smooth sailing's what I would call it.
Yeah.
Smooth sailing.
Well, for now, just use one of them 200-foot extension cords and you're fine.
Absolutely.
All right.
You just send it off across that field.
You can zap them cows.
Yep.
I never seen a cow that I didn't want to zap.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I also heard? I heard that the whole phenomenon of cow tipping is like unreal. Like there's no way you can tip a cow.
You're telling me we've been lied to our entire life?
Yeah. Like you can't tip a cow because it weighs like 2,000 pounds, don't you?
Yeah, they're heavy. Cows are tough, especially when they're sleeping, I'm sure.
The only way
dreaming, it makes them heavier.
The only way you can tip them is unless you can hypnotize them and they fall over. But I don't know too many high school dumb shit kids that can hypnotize cows.
No. But if you got that kind of a specialness to you, then go out there cow tipping. It's the only way to do it.
Well, but I thought cow tipping was a myth.
Oh, yeah, you just said it was. It is a myth, isn't it?
Yeah. So nobody really does tip cows.
How did that
you can't tip a cow.
No.
You can't.
Yeah, I mean, if you tried, you'd probably just fall over in the mud.
You would. So maybe cow tipping is a code word for something else, like kissing a girl.
Could be.
All right. Well, last week, I'm glad we figured that one out.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Oh no, my hair's all messed up.
It's worth it.
Makeup.
It's worth it.
Yeah, you make an awful good cowboy, I'll have to say.
Thanks, man.
You just put that with that mustache. Speaking of cowboy shows, what was that one show that was so good? Oh boy.
Have you been watching the Yellowstone series and all
No,
that?
it was before Yellowstone. What was it called? They swore all the time in it.
Deadwood.
Deadwood, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
a
a show. Did you ever get a chance to be on that?
No, that would have been great though. Mike Harney is in that, man. Mike Harney, who plays my dad in Space Command, is in Deadwood.
Yeah. I could see you in Deadwood. I could.
Yeah, I'd love that, man. I just think the grittiness of it.
It's so gritty. It's amazingly gritty. Yeah.
I think any westerns would be fun, man.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll come back. Westerns will start being the thing again.
Yeah, I feel like they actually did make a little swing back for a little bit, man. I mean, they were more like kind of quieter westerns, but Yeah, I feel like they're still around. They're still around.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
I know what role you could be in.
What do you got?
I've heard some rumors about them wanting to remake Firefly.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I would love it. I feel like
Space
Nathan Fillion
Western.
would have to be in it though.
That's okay. They could create a new character and have you be
his cousin.
his sidekick.
I'll take it. Is that a
Yeah.
rumor, man? I haven't heard that.
At least I've been
true.
hearing about it. Yeah, there's a show that was so good that got canned. Yeah, another show that I'm really mad about.
Every single character, man. That's what I enjoyed about it. You just, they're a troublesome bunch, and they're trying to figure it out, and they get into trouble and try to figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Another show that got canned way before its time was the remake of Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Did you ever watch that?
I didn't see it, man. I actually haven't watched much of Cowboy Bebop, the anime thing. I need to get on that boat, I think, man.
I never watched the animated, so I was just watching Cowboy Bebop fresh.
What'd you think?
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a fantastic show. And then freaking Netflix canned it like 3 weeks after they released it. Didn't even get
just
a chance.
released it. Yeah.
Because
really strange,
there was too much controversy because, of course, the people that watched the animated version were mad that the live action version wasn't exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, duh. It's live action
and you're doing it.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought all the actors were really well cast. It was just a great show, and it made me so mad when that they pulled the plug on it that fast.
Yeah, in my head, when I heard that it was coming out, just knowing like the background of what Cowboy Bebop, like the following that it has, I thought it was going to be gigantic, man.
That's what they thought too, I think. And there was controversy, but the part of it was people hadn't even watched it yet. So they were arguing about just, and
just because it was remade.
Yeah. And I knew a lot of people that were really big anime fans that loved the live action version of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it shows you they're doing something right, man.
Yeah. I guess you never really know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, it was probably really expensive. And so maybe they just did some calculus, or who knows, maybe there was somebody behind the scenes that just big heavy hitter that for some reason didn't like it.
Yeah, just had to shift gears. Yeah. But still, when it's something that has that kind of a following, man, you kind of hope that it gives at least all the fans something to really care about and enjoy.
Yeah. So, anyhow, well, okay. We'll do a final question.
Sure. Thanks, man.
When you're in the later stages of your life, and you look back upon your career, what would you like to be remembered most for?
I would like to be remembered most for, I think, being a good guy to work with. I think it'd be just the idea of, instead of like the work that is on the screen, for me, man, I just really enjoy, I think, building the story. Like going to set and having a family there that everybody believes in a common goal to tell this story, whatever that story is.
Okay.
And I love that, man. I love it. So I think looking back, I think it'd be the idea of, I'd like people to be like, oh yeah, he was a good guy to work with. Worked hard. Yeah.
So kind of building relationships and.
Yeah, I just like having, like, going like on set with Space Command, man. Like it feels like a family. Like we've been at it, and it's the idea of showing up and you don't skip a beat, and it's like being part of a family, man. That's what I like about making movies and TV shows, man.
Okay.
I just like that everybody's working hard to
make it
hopefully
happen.
Put it out there and people enjoy. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see on sets that you work on, are there sets where people are comfortable enough to kind of goof off some, or is it all just like, come on, guys, we're burning money by the second. Let's get with it.
I think both on all sets, if that makes sense. I think there's definitely going to be some people that are goofing off that keep it light,
Okay.
And there's definitely the people that are sweating and very angry because they need to move.
Okay.
We need to move, like that kind of thing.
Okay, I think I suddenly understand what the dynamic. So if people are goofing off, I think it's a controlled goofing off because the director wants you guys to lighten up and loosen up, so they're having you goof off, or they're allowing you to goof off.
Yeah, I think if you're goofing off to goof off to cause trouble, then that's a whole different thing. But I think if you're doing a comedy, and if everybody's serious all the time, I feel like the funny may not come out of that atmosphere.
Okay.
But if you're actually having fun and being open and laughing along with the crew, then I think that fuels whatever you're performing. Yeah.
Because I've heard stories of like Star Trek Next Generation that supposedly they goofed off a lot in between takes, and then they could suddenly just go whoosh, and then get back into their characters.
Yeah, I think that's great.
I don't know how true that is or not, but I guess maybe again it's just to loosen up and get you. Different actors have different ways to get themselves back in the zone.
Yeah. Well, I think just with you saying that, man, it makes me like the show even more. You know what I mean? Because you realize, like, oh, they were having a blast doing that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, if you see in between takes, and what do you got? You got Patrick Stewart yelling, "Make it so," and turning these all business, and then they see a cut and they all start laughing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. So apparently what happened, this is what I heard. And I think I heard it from Patrick Stewart himself. Apparently the first season or two, he was a Shakespearean actor from the UK, and he was thinking to himself, these guys are totally unprofessional, idiot Yankees. They're goofing off all the time. So he didn't approve of it at all.
Yeah, and he's all business. Yeah.
But then later on, he finally got it. And then in later seasons, he was one of the biggest goof offs they had.
Oh,
something
perfect,
clicked
man.
at some point,
Well,
so
you're just there to have fun, man, and tell stories. And what was it? I forget what movie it was, but it's Jeff Bridges was saying that he was on a movie and they're what was it? I don't remember the film, but he says that they're all being real serious and everybody's mad and they're trying to figure out this scene. And I think it was Kevin Bacon was with him. And Kevin Bacon said, all right, guys, well, just so you know, we're all making a movie. This is the most important thing in the world right now. And walked off. And Jeff Bridges starts laughing, just like, you know what? Yeah, like, what are we doing here? We're just making a movie. Why is everybody so pissed? It's kind of funny. But I like that line, like, all right, guys, we're making a movie. This is the most important thing in the world right now. That's funny.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Yeah. So, like, in fact, the most important thing is, of course, podcasts. This is so much more important than a movie because we're being real.
That's
right. We're creating the script in every moment.
Yeah.
You know what
I
mean?
now.
Yeah.
It's writing itself.
It's writing itself. Yeah. Writing itself. There's a double meaning there. Our podcast ship is writing itself.
I like
Made
it.
a hit an iceberg. It might have been in trouble, but now it's self-writing.
Yeah.
Self-writing podcast ship. Right there.
What would be the ship's name? Pranakasha?
Well, it would be let me think a minute here.
Sure.
It would be the Miss Pranakasha.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Would you like to be the captain of Miss Pranakasha?
No, you're the captain. No, I'm like, I'll be your number one or number two. I don't know, whatever.
You know what? You would actually, I think you'd make quite a good chief engineer.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll take
that. You got
that.
a Scottish accent, perchance, in there?
A what?
A Scottish accent?
I've got a bit of a Scottish accent. I need to work on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was more British. I need to work on it, but yeah. I was thinking Braveheart.
It's got to be something gritty, because you're down there in the bowels of the ship, banging on the diesel motors, getting them to work.
Yeah. In the thick of it, in the grease.
Yeah.
Scottish accent. I got to work on it.
Scottish. Mine, I can't do it either. Of course, Mr. Scott's accent, turns out all the Scots laugh at him because they say it sounds totally fake.
Yeah.
But they still love James Doohan anyways, and they still love Mr. Scott. Scotty. All right, I'll be the captain. You can be what would you could be the chief chef.
Okay. Yeah.
How about a French accent?
The French, I could make a bit of a. I could make some French food,
Okay,
some
yeah.
soups, perhaps. How's that?
Monsieur le chef, nous avons besoin de nourriture, s'il vous plaît. Ça va?
Oui, 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 oui.
Ça va bien? Allez vite. I don't know if you speak any French.
No, not really, man.
I was saying we need food, so that would be good. So get with it.
I like it. I like it. All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I gotta let you go. So, Athena, we asked about. I'm gonna make sure I hit all my things.
Sure, man.
So Athena's your wife. I forgot to even mention that your wife is Athena.
Yeah.
So she plays a nurse. Does she do any writing?
She does actually, man. Yeah, we did a short film that she wrote. I guess it was a little while back, but yeah, she wrote a little short film, man, called Spinster. We had our buddies and cast it ourselves and had the whole casting process, which I would highly recommend if you're an actor or director or anything. You should try a casting session so you can see what you look like on the other end. So, like as an actor, you go into a casting room and you're like, oh, this is. Say your sides and you're nervous and you don't know, maybe you feel very confident.
Okay.
But if you're on the other side of the table, you see all of it. You see the people that come in that are confident. You see the people that are nervous as hell. You see the people that didn't put in the work. You see the people that really put in the work, and you can learn from all of it. So that was something that I learned from Athena's short film. That was the first time we ever held like a casting session.
Okay.
All of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that because there was a time when I was a IT manager and I started interviewing people, and same thing. I was like, oh wow, next time I do an interview, now I know what to do.
Yeah, kind of adjust accordingly. You're like, oh, this is why you chose this person, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. All right, well, at some point, hopefully, I'll end up somewhere near Atlanta, and maybe we can go out to dinner or something. That would be fun.
Come on
Me
out.
and Brian. Unless are you guys going to be in LA again? Like shooting more Space Command?
Yeah, at the end of the month, man. Yeah. So if you're going to be out there,
what week?
Flying out the 20th.
I'm doing a concert the 24th, so there's no way.
Oh, all right. Oh, congratulations, man.
Yeah, actually performing a piece that we're premiering a piece that I wrote.
Get out of here, really? Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called the Operatic Rhapsody for Violin and Orchestra.
That's wonderful, man. Yeah. That's wonderful. And that's there in Seattle?
Yeah. And actually, Sean Kenny and his wife, Taki, said that they would come to the concert because they were going to be in town to see some relatives anyways.
Cool, man. That's amazing.
And then they're going to come to our barbecue afterwards. So that'll be really fun.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You excited? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep. Good, man. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, so that's fun. That's something like that is for when you write something for a full orchestra, that's a huge amount of work.
Yeah,
a whole page of music flies by in about 2 seconds.
Yep.
Because all those instruments have to be playing stuff. If it's a particularly thick part in the piece. But,
how long have you been working on it, man?
Well, I have enough chops now that I've learned to write fast. So I was able to write that piece in about a year, and I did all kinds of stuff besides that too. But my goal right now is to write a big piece like that once a year.
That's amazing, man. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. But I mean, it's like anything. You gotta, for one, you have to want to do it. And then you just have to put your nose to the grindstone and do it.
Just keep at it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
No, congratulations, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, I got all kinds of shit going. I'm also forming a cover band.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna play. I have another barbecue in August where it's our band's first gig, and we're gonna be doing like Frank Sinatra songs and some Elvis songs.
Cool, man.
We might even try some Beach Boys and stuff like that. And we're also gonna do Foreigner, Heartache Tonight. Gonna be a heartache tonight, I know. Lord,
yes, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I can't sing it that high, so I'm going to sing it an octave lower. Go for the deep
What's your band
baritone.
called? What's your band name?
Called the Macadamians Party Band.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
It's gonna be good,
Well,
man.
that's fun, man.
Really good.
That's in August.
August, yeah. See what you could do after Vegas. You could just swing by my house and hang out at the
Catch the
barbecue.
set. Yeah. Have a burger, maybe something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna have burgers, hot dogs, teriyaki strips.
Oh man. Oh
All
man.
good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You tell me where to sign.
You don't gotta sign nothing. You just show up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations, though, man. It was fun.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. So, all right, let's wrap up. Otherwise, I'm gonna ramble on and on forever.
No,
So, final parting shot.
Sure.
So, is there anything that you want, like world peace or things
That'd
like
be
that?
nice.
You know, like when they're at a beauty pageant and the contestant has to say what they want to happen in the world or whatever.
Where they say, like, "What's your favorite day?" And I say, "August." You're like, "What?"
What's so great about August?
I don't know. It's not even a day.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, you failed. Actually, well, you could. I think you could pass as a dumb blonde.
Oh yeah.
And August is not a day. Gone.
No.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do? I forgot. I have this deck of dad jokes. We got to do a dad joke before we wrap up.
You got it.
So, I got to shuffle. What's your favorite number from 1 to 10?
1 to 10. Let's go 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this proves that it wasn't pre-planned. This is all real. But magically, this is a magic dad joke deck. So magically, this joke will have some relevance to what we've been talking about.
All right, I like it.
Okay. Why is rowing such a popular sport?
Why?
Because it's awesome.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Isn't that relevant though? Wait, let's try one more. This is a 52 card deck, but each card has a dad joke on each side, so that's 104 dad jokes. So we got a plethora of dad jokes.
All right.
I assume you watched Three Amigos, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you know what a plethora is, right?
A plethora.
Yeah. What is a snake's favorite subject at school?
Science.
Close. Really close. History.
Ooh, all right. I like it. Yeah, history's better. That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So to connect both those jokes, I think the rowing.
Okay.
We could connect it to the idea of putting our creative sides out there, jumping in the boat and just going for it. You don't get to the other side of the river until you actually take the leap and do it.
Okay.
So what do you think?
I'll buy that. And then
the snake would be, we talked about the Slytherin, Jason Isaacs as the he was Lucius Malfoy.
Whoa,
so he was
dude, this dude is sharp. Sharp as a tack. That's really good. I wouldn't have pulled that out.
There you go.
Okay. So we're gonna give you
and we were talking
the
about
sacred frog applause.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You win the prize for that. And a free box of Control GX for men. I'm like a spring chicken. Control GX.
Nice.
Of course, you don't need that. You're just a young kid.
Right.
I need this stuff bad. All this color up here is all fake.
Looks good, man. Looks good.
Control GX for men.
Nice.
I'm full of youthful exuberance and vigor. All because of Control GX. Confidence, courage,
and vigor.
Yeah.
All
right. So, all right, we got to stop. I'm losing it now. The quality of the show is tanking. We're in a nosedive. We got to say bye quick.
No, that was amazing, though, man. Thank you very much for having me on, man. It's a pleasure.
Love to have you. Love to have you back. Anytime.
Yeah, man.
Just send me
Let
a
me know.
jingle or send me a Facebook message. By the way, folks, Ethan has a Facebook page, and if you friend him, I'm pretty sure he'll friend you back.
Yeah.
And experience tells me that if you Facebook message him, he might Facebook message you back even.
This is true. This is true. Yeah.
Anything is possible. Don't be shy.
But yeah, if you're looking
McDowell.
for me on the socials, what is it? Instagram. We got the Instagram stuff at Ethan12.
I'll tell you what, I'll put links to all of them in the description. There we go. You can click down there. You get a direct line to Ethan McDowell himself.
All right.
You can even recite love poetry at him. Just don't tell Athena.
Sure.
Right.
Well, you can tell her. We'll read it and we'll say like, "Oh, this is a very good love poem."
Oh, okay. So tell Athena. But you can also send love poems to Athena, but for sure don't tell Ethan.
Right.
You want to get your face bashed in.
Right. Mustache, business mustache here. Look out.
Yeah. All right. Do you know how to do this? Live long and prosper? You do? Okay, very good. Okay, whoops, the Orville is blocking my welcome salute. There we go. Live long and prosper, sir. May God be with you.
Prosper. Thank you, sir.
Blessings upon you and your family and all your fans.
Well, likewise, man. Yeah. Likewise. Thank you, man. Well, thank you, sir. It was a pleasure.
The pleasure's mine.
Pranakasha Production. Fantastic creations emerging spontaneously from the space of life. For the benefit of all beings everywhere. We gotta